Hey everybody, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to land a paying client in the next 7 days just using Facebook. By the way, subscribe to my channel if you like videos on how to start and grow your own online coaching business. We release new videos like this every single week. Hey everybody, my name is Armin Shaffi and I built a multi-six-figure life coaching business, and now I spend my time helping other coaches, teaching them my marketing system so they can build a business as well. Now, if you are doing any type of organic marketing, maybe posting on social media, Facebook, Instagram, anything like that, even LinkedIn, and you're right now struggling and it's not really working, or you really need to land a paying client right now in the next 7 to 14 days, and you really need to make some money come in so you can start investing into your business and paying for maybe ads eventually, then this video is for you. So the reason I'm making this video, by the way, is something recently happened. I was doing pretty good in my coaching business. I was up to spending about $500 a day in ads. Now, we were spending 15 grand a month. We were doing pretty good with our ROI. And then suddenly, Facebook changed something and our ad account got shut down. Now, if you are watching this and you've ever ran ads, you can know the pain of Facebook and all of their regulations and restrictions and all the stuff that they do. It makes it super difficult to run ads, but that's why you need expertise and help, and it's super profitable when you figure it out. But unfortunately, our ad account got shut down. Now I'm sitting down, I'm like, man, it takes at least 2 to 4 weeks for an ad account to be, reclaimed or to appeal it to get our ad account back. And because I couldn't wait a whole month to land more clients and we had traffic, we need to get traffic in, I had to figure something out. So I thought, well, the only other thing I could do right now that I know I can do instantly with no delay is go on social media and actually do organic marketing. So I had done this previously to start my business, but I upgraded myself to running paid traffic, doing paid traffic, because you can scale your coaching business online by doing ads. But now I had no option. So what I did is I started spending a couple hours and I went to Facebook groups where all of my ideal clients were. So I obviously look for coaches that are really good at coaching, but they don't know how to do marketing or business. And I go into groups where they're hanging out and asking questions. And what I started to do, I started to ask questions in the group, and I started to find other people asking questions that I would post and maybe promote myself or talk about what I do. And what I found was, after a couple of hours of doing this, I thought, this isn't working because nobody's adding me as a friend, no one's talking to me. And it's crazy because I noticed everyone was doing the same thing. Right? There's a lot of noise in the groups. And I realized that and I thought, okay, so I'm probably getting drowned out from the noise. I'm commenting on posts, but nobody's seeing because there's 100 people saying kind of the same two sentences and, making a funny joke or something like that. And even my posts in the group, it was not getting a lot of engagement because so many people are asking questions that are similar to me to get engagement so they can get leads and get clients. So I sat there and I hit this big roadblock, this big wall. I thought, man, my ads aren't running. My organic marketing strategy right now isn't working, and I was trying things that worked from before, but there's so many people trying it now that there was so much noise. So I thought about it. I go, well, what do I see nobody doing? And I started looking at all the comments, and I realized most people aren't actually adding any real value. Someone would ask, how can I get my webinar to convert more? Or how, what happens if my webinar is less than 5%? Or, what's a good conversion for my webinar, for example, or my ads? And people would just be like, over 5%. Or they'd be like, well, probably your webinar needs work, or you should hire somebody. So no one actually took the time to answer this person's question. So I thought, okay, what if I go in and actually add a lot of value and teach this person something, because it doesn't cost me anything, right? I'm an expert in this, so I'll help the person out. And I started doing something called, and here's what I want you to write down. I started doing something called, what I used was something called a long form value comment. Okay? So I started doing something called long form value comments. And what I mean by that is I would actually spend time and draw, write out a 3 or 4 paragraph answer with even more than what they asked. So I'll give you an example. Someone would ask how come, my webinar is not converting? Any tips or tricks or whatever. Most people were like, well, you got to look at every part of the funnel. Someone say, maybe your ads suck. Maybe it's just a lot of crappy answers. So I went and I teach this stuff to coaches, how to run a webinar funnel and get clients. So I sat down and I go, well, the first thing you want to look at is if your messaging is correct. The first thing I would do if I were you is maybe send out a survey to your audience and ask them why they're not buying or booking a call with you. It's called a didn't book survey. So you ask them like, why didn't you book a call? And from that research, you can actually either fix the webinar based off what you know, or you can find out what the problem is. And then I give another answer, and then I did a new line and I made it look nice as well. Most people like type stupid and like use slang. I spoke proper English. I spoke well. I made it look good so it sticks out and stands out, looks professional. And I said, okay, also, you want to see what kind of people maybe you're sending to your webinar. If you're running paid traffic or organic, you want to make sure the right people are going through it. So even if you have 100,000 people, if the wrong people go through that funnel, no one's going to book a call. So maybe it's not your funnel at all. Maybe it's not even your webinar. And so I kept going and I added this really nice long form, valuable comment. And guess what happened? I started seeing some change. I started seeing a lot of engagement. Not only did the person respond themselves and say, thank you, this was very helpful, thank you so much, and they added me as a friend, which is a lead, but also all the other people coming to comment, they also liked my comment. And they commented like, oh, this is helpful, thanks a lot, whatever. So I was not just getting the person's attention, everybody else was wondering, who's this guy? How come he knows so much? And it was crazy how much engagement it was getting. So I started to go through the group, searching for questions I can answer, and literally spending time and just adding real value through long form value comments. This is what I'm suggesting for you to do as well. Being able to, if you're an expert in your field, go in and actually add long form value comments. Now here's another technique I'm going to share with you that can enhance the engagement. Now, sometimes I would just comment. Other times I would either add a picture that stands out of me, not of something stupid, of me, It was me, a selfie or something like that, where I would add a picture in with the comment, so it just stood out. Because remember, when I saw these comments, and there's hundreds of comments on people's posts, and everyone's like promoting and talking, nobody was like everyone was just posting comments. So when I put a picture and you're scrolling through the comments to see what people said, and most people do that. If someone says, what's the biggest tip to hitting 100K a month in sales? Well, if you're interested in that yourself, you'll scroll through the comments, right? And you'll see what the people say. And when you're scrolling, boom, you see a picture, it stands out, they stop, maybe they read what you said. So a picture is a huge engagement hack to get people's attention to read your comment. Now here's the other thing. Or if I didn't do a picture or comment, I would do a video. Now get this, if I didn't want to write it out, sometimes I did a video. I would take my phone, and I would record a 60-second video, right? Because I think that's the max for commenting on posts. And instead of writing it out, I would just answer. And it was so personal, so much more engaging to watch. So I said like, hey, John, it might not be your webinar, it might be this, look at that, and here's what I would do. And I would post it. That got me the most engagement, the most eyeballs. You know why? Because nobody has the courage to take out their phone and make a selfie video to answer a question. This one little hack, guys, increased my engagement in the post like crazy. So not only was I adding long-form value comments, I was using long-form value videos by posting on their posts, like commenting on it. And sometimes I'd use pictures. These two things alone, guys, got me crazy amounts of attention and tons of people adding me as a friend. And that's the whole point of organic marketing, right? The whole point of organic is that your real goal is to get people's attention in a group somewhere, right? And then they add you as a friend, and then you talk to them, you have a chat, and hopefully they book a call, and then they buy, right? That's usually the goal for organic marketing right here, right? So the real thing is like, can you get attention first? Can you get engagement? Can you add value so that they can add you as a friend, talk to them, book a call, and close them on your coaching program, right? So this was a huge one for me as well. Now here's the last little hack I'll tell you this one I've known for years, and so I'm going to share it with you because it's super important. When you comment the long form value, the value you give them, or you add a picture, video, whatever it is, always end with a question, okay? Now, when you end with a question, what happens is it opens up the loop again. So you keep the conversation going. So for example, I'd be like, I would post like, hey, John, I hope, it could be this. By the way, how long you been in business? By the way, what's your offer? What do you sell? By the way, why do you do what you do? By the way, when did you start? How did you get started? Whatever it is. Or I could ask something about the question they asked. Like, by the way, have you tried this yet? And what would happen is, whether it's in the video, by the way, or in the comment, not only would they respond, but everyone else will respond, because every time they comment and engagement comes under my comment, when you go into the group, it's a little algorithm for Facebook. When you go into the group, your comment shows up at the top as the preview for the post, okay? So if I come in and I see there's 200 comments or something, and like 100 whatever likes, and this person's like, what's your biggest tip? Or how do you increase your webinar conversions as a coach? Whatever. So what would happen is usually the top most engaged comment will be at the top, so that if you click see more, open it up, then it shows everyone, right? But if you're the most engaged comment, your comment is the preview. So they'll see, even though there's 200 comments, so everyone, the hundreds of people, thousands of people going into the group will see that post, and then they'll see your account saying your comment. They'll want to click see more to see what you answered because you're the first answer they see to that question. Ninja, okay? So I got so much attention, so much engagement, and it literally flooded my inbox. It was insane how well this worked. All I did, guys, was take an extra inch. I'm a huge fan of Tony Robbins. I don't know if you've seen his stuff. And in a seminar 4 years ago when I went, I remember he taught us that in golf, it's all about inches of a difference. It's not big differences. So if you swing a little this way and it goes all the way left, all you got to do is tweak maybe your shoulder a little bit to the right. And if you swing, it'll go all the way to the right. So the goal is to just make sure you perfect that extra inch, that one little thing. And it's that one little inch more that you go by doing a little bit more value that puts you apart from everyone else. That 1 inch more is what takes you from ordinary to extraordinary. And that's stuck in my mind. I use it in business every day. That's why I go above and beyond for my clients and all the coaches in my program that I work with by not just helping them out with their business, but giving them a lot more than they even paid for. That's literally my whole philosophy. So you got to do that as well. If you want to get, you got to be willing to give. And so this long form value strategy, whether through video or comments, is really a nature of life. It's a philosophy. Give to get. And most people are in there to just take. That's why they post little tiny comments and say nothing and don't really give value. Or they just say, well, after doing $100,000 a day, you should just hire someone. Like, they don't really answer the person's question. And the poor person is just starting out. Most of us are just starting out. We're posting questions because we're hoping this group will actually give us answers, not just promote to us. So if you can stand out by actually answering people's questions, giving long-form value comments, make sure the comments are good, you will get tons of engagement. Now, let's answer some questions. What if you do this, right? Over the next 7 days, you go into the groups where your ideal clients are and you start to answer people's questions, add value, maybe ask questions of your own so you get people interested, but more so just adding value to other people's posts, adding pictures and videos, and, continuing the loop. What if it still doesn't work? Well, let's say, for example, you do all this. Let's say problem number 1 is you don't get engagement. Well, if you don't get engagement, simply, all it means is that you're not adding enough value. It just means that your comments are not actually valuable or interesting. And so what's happening is that just means you got to go back and really focus on adding more value here, okay? That's really all that means. So if you're doing hours of this and nobody's trying to add you as a friend or talk to you or like it, it's just because your comments aren't good. So you got to go back and add more value. Maybe go above and beyond, like what can you do more than just answering their question? Now, let's say you get engagement, but you don't get any leads. So let's say you get engagement, but nobody adds you as a friend, or let's say, let's say you get no engagement. Let's say you get a lot of engagement, people add you as a friend, but when they go on your profile, nobody becomes a lead. Now, how do they become a lead? You should have, if you don't already, have your Facebook set up as a branding, like a lead magnet, so that your Facebook cover photo, your description, and your featured photo has what you do. Your offer should be in there. Like, learn how to do this thing, click on this link, go to my funnel. It should be there. Now, if it's not already there, then if you're getting engagement, but you're not getting leads, like when they add you as a friend and go to your Facebook, that's because your copy and your marketing, like your copywriting on your Facebook, isn't enticing enough. So let's say they're like, oh, what a great comment. They add you as a friend, they go on your Facebook, and your Facebook doesn't really entice them to want to talk to you or to opt into a funnel or to message you. That's the problem there. So you gotta upgrade your Facebook profile. It's funny because in my program, I actually have an entire lesson video teaching my coaches how to upgrade their Facebook profile so that it becomes like a lead magnet for them. So when people check them out, they immediately either opt into the funnel, join a group that they have, or message them. So that's if you have no leads from the people that come into your Facebook. Make sure your Facebook is branded. Now, what if people do opt in? Maybe you do get leads and they go into your funnel. Maybe you have a funnel set up like a book a call funnel or whatever it is. Maybe out of all the leads, you don't get any book calls. Well, if you got no book calls from your leads, that's simply because your content on the funnel, the core content, whether it be a webinar, a VSL, maybe a case study, maybe you just put them on a page and show testimonials and say book a call, that just means your core content is not converting. It's not good, okay? So if someone goes and, you get the engagement, they show up and turn to a lead, opt into your funnel, whatever it is, or you should have a funnel set up if you don't already, and they go into a funnel, I like a high ticket funnel. Like I have it set up. I teach my coaches how to set it up. I even give my high ticket funnel to my coaches in my program so they don't have to become a tech wizard to just set it up and they start using it for client acquisition, getting applications and book calls. Now, if the leads don't turn to book calls, even though they went to your funnel, it's because your funnel, the content in your funnel is not enticing enough to book a call, okay? It just doesn't convert. And that's where you really need to hone in and get really good at your webinar being more convincing to make them want to book a call, to make it desirable enough. If your funnel is a case study or whatever it is, make sure it's better, okay? You got to work on making that better. If you don't know how to make it better and you thought you did your best already and you have something set up, that's when you really need to consider getting help with someone who's doing it well, because there could be tons of things wrong with your funnel and your core content, your webinar, your VSL. There'd be so many things wrong. It'd be impossible to me even try to go through all of it with you on a video, or for you to guess it, or someone just give you a 1-hour consult. You have to get a person who builds it with you to understand it, goes through the whole thing. Now, until you get a ton of book calls, okay? All of it works. People get engaged. They become a lead for you, and they book a call, but you get on calls and you don't get any sales. Well, if you get no sales, it could be either one of two things. It could be either that your core content isn't effectively qualifying the lead before they book a call. So they go through it and you're not being very clear with who you want to work with. And so unqualified leads are booking a call. Okay, so you get on the phone with a bunch of people that's not interested. I remember talking to someone just recently, and they do like a LinkedIn strategy, and they said they get I think it was like they got like 85 book calls last month. I'm like, that's pretty good. I mean, that's really, really good, right? I'm like, but how many of those showed up to the call? It goes 30. That's pretty bad. Okay, that's pretty bad. I said, how many of those did you close? He goes, 4. You booked 85 calls from your organic strategy. Only 30 showed up, less than half. And you closed like 5% of them? There's something wrong with your system. And you know what I found out? It's because he didn't have a core content that they watched before booking a call. He had no way of qualifying the leads to become an actual a potential client. And I did. So even though I got less book calls than him, I had way more sales and way more show-up rate because I had higher quality leads on the call. So if your core content is, if you're getting on calls and you're not closing them, it could be because the wrong person's getting on the call because your core content or your strategy or your funnel is not being clear with who you're looking for. Now, the other reason could be because you just simply aren't good at selling yet. Now, if you're not, you got to invest in that, okay? There's a huge opportunity cost for being bad at closing or selling. Like every sale for you could mean what? $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000? How much would it make you if you learned how to actually close 1 or 2 more clients out of all the calls you pick up? It would make you probably a ton of money difference, right? So, you got to really prioritize there to put the money you do have or find the money to invest into learning how to actually close and sell, because that is the lifeline of your business. If you can't close a client to work with you, you're not making any money. This coaching business of yours isn't going to last. Okay, so that's where really how your survival works and your strival works, okay? So just to recap, simply all you got to do over the next 7 days, like a 7-day challenge, is commit 1 to 3, as many hours as possible, actually, if you really want to get, a lot of clients from this, to going into groups where your clients are your ideal clients. And all you do is go in and find posts where you can add long form value to through comments, use pictures and videos to get people's attention, and find, end with a question so that the loop is always going. You get tons of engagement. From the engagement, if your engagement isn't good, pretty much just means you got to add more value. Now, if you get engagement, but people go into your Facebook books, check you out, they don't message you or they don't opt into your funnel, that means your copy isn't enticing enough. You got to work on your copywriting. Like with my coaches, I review their Facebooks, I review their funnels, I review their copy. I help them create the content for their copy because I've done this for so long. I know what's going to work and what's not. I can see the problem right away. Whereas most people starting out, they have no idea, okay? Like when you started your coaching business, you probably weren't expecting to become a marketing, tech, sales, business wizard, right? You were just wanting to help people. Well, luckily for me, I built a lot of the muscle, the marketing, sales, business, tech stuff. So when I work with other coaches, I understand their passion. But what I'm really working with them on is fixing all the stuff of the business to make their passion come true, make it profitable. So you got to make sure your copy is good. Get a coach to help you with this. Because if you're not a good copywriter, it's just you're not a good copywriter. I mean, you could buy tons of courses, but you might still be doing it wrong. If someone who is an expert in this can look at it and be like, this is how you do it. Now, let's say your copy is good. They become leads for you. Maybe they message you. Maybe they go into your funnel, whatever it is to make them a lead, but you're not booking calls. Well, that means the way you're speaking to them on the chat or your funnel itself, the content prior to booking the call is not convincing enough. It doesn't really make them want to book a call or speak with you. That is a strategy as well. You got to work on the content. You got to make sure your content is proven. You got to figure out what's wrong there, what's missing. Now, let's say you're getting a ton of book calls, but you're not closing. Simply, it's either the wrong people are getting on the call, which means all of this, by the way, is still wrong, and you need strategy work, or you need to just improve your sales skills and learn how to close. If you hate selling, you got to learn to love it, because it's the only reason why you're going to put food on the table and live the dreams that you want, because you learn how to make money. So I hope this was super valuable. If you're excited like I am, here's what happened for me. I'll tell you the results I got. So I went out and I did this, and after a few days, 3-4 days, I got dozens of friend requests, okay? And from the friend requests, I wasn't used to organic marketing. I like doing ads, but my ad account was shut down. So I still message them like, hey, they're like, hey, I saw your comment on this post. I saw your video on that post. I saw it. They would just keep saying, I saw. I said, that's awesome. They said, I'm wondering, I'm interested in what you do. My Facebook is loaded. If you go to my Facebook right now, Armin Shaffi, it's perfectly branded, so you know what I do, and if you want to be interested, it's very clear to message me or to opt in. So they messaged me, or maybe they entered my funnel, right? I got both, and I would just talk to them like, hey, okay, what's your goal with this? And they'd be like, my goal is this. I say, okay, awesome. What's holding back? This. Okay, so you're serious about this? Yeah. Okay, well, if I sent you a 1-hour training on how I show you how to fix this, would you watch it? So I'm qualifying them. Yeah, sure, I would. I would send it to them. And here's what happened, guys. That week, I got tons of people watching my content. Now, I've been doing this, so all my stuff's good. I got a ton of book calls. We made $20,000 in sales that week. And I was sitting down, I'm like, $20,000 in sales. And here's the best part. I didn't have to pay $500 a day for those leads. It was all free money, literally pure profit. And it was cool because I got to know the clients as well. Now, here's the cool part. My ad account, we eventually got it back. But I saw so much success with that simple organic strategy, just going and adding long-form value comments. I continued to do the organic and the ads, and my business doubled in sales. And so I'm sharing this with you because even if you are running ads, this is something you should be doing anyways. I mean, it's so easy to do, and you really are giving back to the community, and it's going to grow your business. So I hope this was super valuable. Now, if you're watching this, you're a little overwhelmed, it's okay, that's normal. Or if you're excited because you want to go do it, no problem. There's pretty much two options you have after this. You can either go and implement this, and you might make some money and get some clients if you have the rest of your system set up properly. And if you do, then feel free to come back, send me a message on Facebook, maybe email me at armin@elitespeakersacademy.com. Send me something and let me know what how I helped you with this video to get that client. And maybe you can take that money and actually invest it into getting more help so you can perfect this system and eventually get to ads where you have thousands of people around the world seeing who you are, not just a few hundred in groups. Or you watch this and you go, damn, I don't know how to do this, but it sounds like Armin knows what he's doing, and maybe I just want his help. So either way, what I want you to do right now is if you want more help growing your coaching business, all I want you to do is click the link provided with this video. It'll either be down below in the description or after this video, we'll put it on the screen, and book a call with my team. All you need to do is book a call, and we'll get on the phone with you and see, what's holding you back in your business, what's the strategy to fix that, and if we're a good fit to help you out, if what you do works with our model, and if we can see we can help you set up a marketing system that's been proven to bring in clients for your high-ticket clients in your business. Now, if you go out and make money, then by all means, follow up with us. I'd love to know your success story and help you grow that. If you could do it once, you could do it hundreds of times. But if you want help with all of this and getting clients and growing your business, building the funnel with the core content, getting your actual branding right, then book a call on my team and we'll help you grow your coaching business. If you're just considering it, maybe you can start your coaching business with us as well. So I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was valuable. And go out and do this and just don't be afraid. Add some value, okay? So do this and book a call. Don't forget to book a call so we can talk to you as well, okay? I'll see you in the next video.